Straight away, Sean Young bowling that one way outside off stump, and so New South Wales off the mark. Square on the offside.
It's exactly what we've come to expect from Michael Slater. He starts out very aggressively. I think at Lords he hit the first ball of the Test match for 4 there. Might have also hit the first ball of the Test for 4 at Headingley. So exactly what you expect from Michael Slater. Aggression right from the word go.
A better line, just short of a length, just outside off stump, and just a little bit of curve there as well. Sean Young, the bowler, and notice where that one was taken. Certainly above weight height, so a little bit of bounce there as well. Always had a go at that one, through the gap at extra cover, and it goes crashing into the fence for 4. So Slater really blitzing it out there from the word go.
Once again, that lovely footwork of Michael Slater, a very positive player.
Always
at getting well forward to negate the swing, pick the gap beautifully. Just watch that big pace forward and negating the swing.
That's the end of the over. No wicket for 7. No wicket for 7 after 1. Mark Ridgeway is the new bowler, former Victorian, 30 years of age. It was off the thigh pad. No, the umpire giving runs. Well, an over called. Too much bounce.
It was banged in very short. But it does tell you one thing, that there's plenty of bounce in this North Sydney track.
The field is just one slip in a deep gully. Quite a strong offside field. 3 men saving 1 there, but if he keeps bowling it in that area, you can understand why. Again, outside off stump. Slater obviously is not going to stand there and watch them go by. Try to just run that one down to third man. Made no contact.
Ridgeway at the moment is trying to bowl just short of a length, but his length is too short, and he'll get punished if he keeps it up, because Slater and Taylor both play horizontal bat shots well.
Well played again. That one was a wide half volley, really. Slater going after it, and once again getting it into the gap.
And this is part of the reason why bowlers want to bowl short of a length to Michael Slater, because they know if they pitch it up, he's likely to give it a crack through the covers or past point. So that's the advantage you gain by being a good driver.
Short and straight to gully. No wicket for 13. So Slater 10 off 12 balls. Taylor is about to face his second ball. Towards fine leg, this outfield fast, nicely picked up, and a good throw as well. Goes whack into the picket fence down there, not that far away from the Mercantile mutual sign either. So we've had 2 close calls for that Mercantile mutual sign this season, and this was one of them.
Yes, that's rubbish, and Mark Taylor dealt with it. The crowd, I'm sure they're expecting some fireworks, because there was a big ooh when it didn't quite clear the fence. They're expecting some sixes.
Get 2 here. There's the fieldsman down there. Straightens down the line. 8 runs of that over. No wicket for 21. So both these batsmen, severe and loose bowling. Well, there's an example of a little bit of bounce that exists out there. Hard surface, this one. Just watch the ball bounce here. To get right up in the air to play that down. Good running, nice placement as well. Slater is knocking that one into that little gap between square leg and mid-on, and away he goes. The wide signalled.
There's a better line from Ridgeway. Just a little bit of movement off the seam as well.
Got his gloves out of the way just in time there.
Certainly plenty of bounce in this strip. It's a good white looking pitch. Usually when you look out and see a white one as a batsman, you start licking the chops. They're usually pretty good to bat on. There's a bit of encouragement there for the bowler with this bounce.
Fielder down at fine leg, and so the end of the over. No wicket for 24. Fumbled by Farrell, fielding at square leg. Very fast, bouncy outfield. I misread that one.
You can tell from the sound of the ball hitting the bat that this is a good pitch with the ball coming on. It really raced away off the bat. Don't know whether it was the speed that it got there that fooled Nick Farrell, but he made a mess of it.
Again, just a little bit of swing there, but nicely played by Taylor. Just closing the face on that one. Getting it way down behind square. 2 more 10.
Good arm, Dean Hills. He's already done a bit of grovelling, saving one on the boundary with a dive, but he's made 3 returns from out near the boundary, and they've all been strong throws and accurate ones. Here's an example of his throw. Plenty of wrist in that throw. It's not a long boundary. None of them are long here at North Sydney Oval. But that's the sort of thing that batsmen take note of. Make note of who's got the strong arm and who's a little bit weak.
No wicket for 28. The Ridgeway continuing. Way outside off stump, another wide. So they've been all over the place so far, Tasmania.
Yes, he's really dragging down on the ball. I think the aim is to try and bowl just short of a length to Michael Slater. Ridgeway really dragging down on them, bowled far too short. Understanding, these two. They really batted together for the first time on the tour in England, but they quickly developed a good understanding. A little surprising that that was the first time they batted together, Slater and Taylor, because they come from the same country area in New South Wales, around Waugh.
That's a better line and a bit of length. Got to be careful of bowling it too short here. Trying to find that happy medium, and it was okay going across the left-hander. Well bowled, just a little quicker, that one. Taylor getting a little bit of bat on that. Just get any movement here. Pitched outside leg stump. The over, no wicket for 30. No wicket for 30, the score now. Slater and Taylor still out there. Good start this for New South Wales.
I think he really tested the patience there of umpire Thomas. I think that's about the limits of his patience. I don't think he'd want to go any wider than that. Definitely thought about it, umpire Thomas.
Smashed that one through the gap wide of mid-off, but didn't quite hit it, and mid-off was able to get there.
Really launches himself into these drives. He's only a small man, Michael Slater. There's no doubt about his aggression, and in the end a very good save by Nicholas Courtney.
Taken signal there, just nudged away on the onside again. So Taylor now has the strike. Field has to change around for the left-hander. I think he's having a little glance down towards square leg. The ball's swinging into him, so anything that's straight starts to go down towards square leg. He'll try and flick over the top of the infield on the leg side. This is an attempt at just that. That's the end of the over. No wicket for 31. Seven overs now, no wicket for 31. Running again, shy at the stumps down at the non-striker's end, but Slater out of the traps quickly.
Michael Slater was run out in the match at the Gabba. Not necessarily his own doing at the Gabba, but on this occasion it would have been, although Mick Farrell's throw was wide. And I'm looking at it, Michael Slater was probably home anyhow.
the over, no wicket for 33. Wicket for 33.
Tasmanian bowlers now starting to find a better line and length, cutting down on the really loose ones, and hence they've cut down on the number of boundaries. It was threatening to be a runaway there, the way Slater started.
Certainly a much better line now. Settled down and just a little bit of swing there as well. Just watch the curve on this delivery. Ooh, that was lucky. Looking for the short one, trying to pull it away. Wasn't quite there. Very close to off stump.
Sounded like an underneath edge, and it's gone very close to off stump. Underneath edge onto the pad, and very close to hitting off stump.
Oh, that's a maiden over. Good one for Tasmania. No wicket for 33.
Timed by Michael Slater. And good fielding out there by Dean Hills, who's already distinguished himself once or twice this morning. Vanuto is the man just behind square leg, just 2 or 3 yards away from the umpire. And another good delivery. The last 2 or 3 overs, the Tasmanian bowlers have improved greatly.
Good piece of bowling this by Ridgeway. Just see it hit the seam there. It bounces more than anything. Just perhaps moves away slightly. It's Certainly a bit of bounce in this pitch. Nothing compared to the whacker, of course. Looks like a pretty fair one-day strip.
Feel it. Farrell, the man out at point.
Mark Taylor gets one away with the meat of the bat. Farrell, very good job. Hope he hasn't injured his spinning finger. We'll probably see him bowl some off spinners at some stage. Just got up bringing the right hand.
No one can stop that. It's beautifully placed and perfectly timed by Mark Taylor. No wicket for 38. Sean Young, the bowler. Slater taking straight. Colin Miller, the fielder. Well run once again by this pair.
The boundaries aren't flowing. You've got to pick up the singles. This ball just goes wide of the fieldsman, and Danny Buckingham, not a full-time wicketkeeper, very much a part-time man. He struggles to get to the stumps. The throw was just a tad wide from Colin Miller on that occasion. And Mark Taylor now looking to get on with the job. Coming down the pitch, trying to get the ball before it swings too far. And after Sean Young's first couple of overs, there's a little astray. He certainly hit the mark his last 3 or 4. Mark Taylor obviously feeling as though he's got to get on with it now.
Courtney's the man coming around. Difficult catch. Oh, but well taken. Beautifully judged. One of the most difficult things in the game, to judge the ball when it's coming over your shoulder. You're running in the same direction as it. Mark Taylor has gone, caught Courtney and bowled Young.
Well, we thought Mark Taylor was trying to get on with the job. This time the ball's pitched up, and perhaps he should have gone over the offside with it, but he hoiks it around on the leg side. And Nick Courtney, he's got the hands up high. It's good technique. He's looking up into the sun, and that is a very, very good catch. He may look easy in the finish. A very good catch. And the New South Wales captain goes. New South Wales lose its first wicket at 1 for 39.
That's the stroke from Mark Taylor. Another angle of Courtney coming around. He got there very quickly, kept his hands up. That was good work.
Pulls the hat off quickly. Decides it's a bit of a nuisance. Not shielding the sun that much. And it's a very good shot of that dismissal. And of course the batsman swapped over. They crossed. The ball was in the air for a long time, and now Michael Slater is on strike. Just signalling there for a new pair of gloves. It's very warm out there this morning. A bit of perspiration on those gloves. Been out there for almost 40 minutes.
Didn't quite time that, but this is a small ground. The upfield is reasonably fast, and we get full value for his shot. So it'll be a high-scoring game. 3 boundaries now to Michael Slater.
When Michael Slater's playing the on-drive, he's really in good touch. He has the habit of playing across those sometimes, trying to hit them through mid-wicket. But when he's hitting it straight down the ground, you'd better watch out.
End of Sean Young's over. Mark Ridgeway's the bowler now, 1 for 43. Steve Waugh, the man, taking strike.
Steve Waugh gets a pretty friendly one first up. I think he'd be disappointed not getting that one away for a boundary. Although when you do get it first ball, it comes as a bit of a surprise. It falls toss on leg stump, perhaps on middle. Don't see Steve Waugh miss too many of those.
Sean Young, the misfielder.
Steve Waugh just off the mark with a little push out to mid-wicket. Michael Slater backs up immediately and just strolls through for a single. Steve Waugh likes the North Sydney Oval, a couple of scores here in the past.
Slater's looking for 2. Courtney's the fielder. And good cricket, so he's followed up a well-judged catch with the cutting down of a possible 2 into a single.
North Sydney Oval, not a big ground. You've got to be pretty careful. Fieldsman picks it up only 10 metres inside the fence. He's probably only, well, 40, 45 metres from the stumps. And those throws do get in there pretty quickly. Nice bit of fielding by Nick Courtney, and appreciated by the bowler too. And that would have been appreciated for a couple of reasons. The first one being that obviously he saved 1 run. The second was that the new batsman, that's Steve Waugh, is kept on strike. Mark Ridgeway would much rather bowl to Steve Waugh at this stage. He's only faced 3 or 4 deliveries. Much rather bowl to Steve Waugh than at Michael Slater, that's for sure. So a good piece of fielding for a couple of reasons by Courtney down there on the fence.
It's 1 for 45. One for 45. 12 overs gone. 21 to Slater, 1 to Steve Waugh. Slater has strike, and Young's the bowler. a tremendous belt, and he's finished up getting no runs for it. Just went wide of the man at short cover. That's David Boone. It was in the air as it went past him at a terrific rate.
Well, David Boone's used to feeling at short leg. That ball came a bit quicker than some he's caught there at short leg.
Beautifully played for 4. Full value for the runs today, and that will apply to the Tasmanian batsmen as well when they eventually get in.
After the cover drive the ball before, Sean Young changes his line slightly, but gets too far into leg stump. Michael Slater just plays it away through mid-wicket. As Richie said, plenty of value for shots out there today. Short boundaries and a quick outfield. And now Sean Young's trying to adapt his line again, that time short and outside off stump, and perhaps leave it a little bit too wide for Michael Slater to get away. If he leaves this alone, it's perhaps almost a wide. Well, I'm sure it would have been a wide. A one-day wide, that is.
And just paid the penalty of 1 extravagance too many. Sean Young has picked up his 2nd wicket. McFarrell has taken the catch out at cover point. The 2nd wicket goes down for New South Wales.
Michael Slater holes out, and I don't think he was too happy about that. He's hitting the ball so well, he didn't have to go in the air. If you are going to go in the air, hit it right over the top. 2 for 49.
New batsman is Mark Waugh, coming out to join his brother Steve. Slater the man out, caught by Farrell at cover point of Young.
Good catch in the finish. You can see it there just curling away a fraction. Michael Slater far from happy. In some ways, just perhaps losing patience. He'd already struck one magnificent boundary through the onside. He had a very hardly struck ball stopped in the covers. I don't think Tasmania will be too unhappy with the score at present. 2 opening batsmen out with a score on 49.
Two for 49, 13 overs gone here. Tasmania having put New South Wales into bat. Colin Miller starts off with the wide.
Here's a shaky one from Cole Miller to start his spell. Bit of outswing, a full toss, outswinger. And because it was so wide, he probably saved himself 3 or 4 runs there. I think Steve Waugh would have put that one away. Well, he's got the first one out of his system. Let's see if he can land the second one.
Well fielded. Venuto, man at point. Outstanding fielder. He's already pulled off a couple of great saves.
The swinging half volley from Cole Miller. And a super piece of fielding because that was 4 all the way. Full stretch away to his right and it bounced on him too, which made it even more difficult. Great piece of fielding. Miller just the 2 runs, one of those being a sundry so far, his first 3 balls, and pretty lucky he's got away with that amount of runs because they've been wide, they've been swinging, they've been full. And very fortunate they've been too wide to really get away. I'm sure he'd like to get his line in closer to off stump.
It's a gentle little defensive stroke. Absolute minimum effort went into that shot. Almost a little jab. Still raced away for 4.
Cole Miller adjusts his line, but not his length. It is just a defensive push, that. I know the outfield's quick, but that just displays the kind of timing that Mark Waugh does have. You don't have to hit the ball hard to get it to the boundary. Perhaps Michael Slater could just have a little look at Mark Waugh now. Michael Slater's probably gone into the dressing room. He's downstairs here at North Sydney Oval, down in the dungeon underneath the stands. You don't get a look at the game from the dressing room. But he would come upstairs and just have, go down that tunnel underneath. Very cool on a day like today. But if Michael Slater would come up and just have a look at Mark Waugh batting and see the way he does time it without really trying to belt the cover off it.
Had a little bit more power and a little bit more strength, but timing was the key point.
This is a classic illustration of what we're talking about. Cole Miller gets it a little wide and a little full. Mark Waugh was more concerned with the placement here. He's not concerned with power. Just concerned with beating mid-off and cover, which he does easily.
And it's 2 for 59. .85 balls have been bowled, 2 for 59 New South Wales. 85 to Slater, 18 to Taylor, they're the 2 men out. Farrell again at square point.
Mick Farrell still ringing that right hand. He's made a couple of stops away to his right. Might be ringing both hands, in fact.
Between them, they've added 1 run onto the total. Steve Waugh played it out. Michael Di Venuto dived away to the right, knocked it out of the road of Nick Courtney.
Little unfortunate this for the fieldsman. Does a great job away to the right and probably saves 4 with that dive. Nick Courtney was coming across to cover. Just knocked away. Still a good piece of fielding though, that. Farrell diving away, a couple of good stops. He's certainly been on the ground a lot this morning so far in these first 15 overs. He's probably saved, well, probably a dozen, perhaps more runs. Once again away to his left. Doesn't have to dive this time, but still, good stop. Sean Young, his 8th over, sorry. 2 for 32. Maybe just getting a little weary now. He has bowled very well after a bit of a shaky start. This time down the leg side, no swing there, just going on with the arm down the leg side. Ian Thomas calls it a bye. Perhaps a little lucky to get away with a wide call. Sean Young's bowled well. However, this over been a little bit shaky. It is quite warm here this morning, so perhaps just a little fatigue setting in. They trot through for an easy signal, 5 off the over, 2 for 64.
Two for 64 from 15. Steve Waugh is about to take strike. Colin Miller will bowl his second over. David Boone's having a chat with him at the moment, which is unsurprising because the first over was very, very tentative. Good running. Mistimed stroke, but they still picked up the single from it.
Mark Waugh doesn't time this. He's aiming away through the point area. Just thumps it hard into the ground. But his brother, Stephen, very much alert for the quick signal. Very good runner between the wicket, Steve Waugh. Having said that, these pair have run each other out on occasion. Always fraught with danger, saying what good runners they are. It's fine with these two, they don't tend to communicate in the normal way. You don't really hear loud calls of yes, no or wait. They tend to have a sixth sense, as you may expect or may postulate about twins. They don't call a lot between the wickets. They just tend to know when the other's going. On the other hand, that's perhaps why they've run each other out a couple of times. That's the third time this over. The Waughs have mistimed the ball hard into the pitch. perhaps we give a little bit of credit to the bowl there. I think it came back off the seam just a fraction. Steve Waugh got the underneath edge of the bat onto it. In fact, they've got a man out there on the cover fence now covering that.
There's a man down at third man square now. And even though he only had to move 4 or 5 yards to his left, he had no chance at all. Beautiful stroke. End of the over.
In the air, but you don't have to chase those here at North Sydney Oval. 2 for 70.
Mark Waugh and Stephen Waugh looking. Welcome to the North Sydney Oval. The Mercantile Mutual Cup match between New South Wales and Tasmania played under perfect conditions. David Boone won the toss, elected to bowl, and New South Wales are 2 for 73. Slater out for 25, Taylor 18, Steve Waugh not out 12, Mark Waugh not out 10. Young, the wicket taker, some good fielding by Tasmania, defending well on a very fast ground. And this match played under ideal conditions. Fast outfield, short boundary, good crowd in, tremendous atmosphere here at North Sydney. Young the bowler. Down to a deep long off, just the single. And good morning, Tony Gregg.
Morning, Bill. Yes, a tremendous atmosphere out here. That's the lovely Moreton Bay fig tree down at the far end of the ground. And look at the crowd. It really is a top spot to watch cricket. The outfield's nice and fast. Have a look at the condition of it there. And some of those old stands, 1 or 2 of them brought over from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Lovely atmosphere.
That's the over bowl, the end of the 17th over. So Young doing a great job for Tasmania and his captain David Boone. Good line and length. A little bit of swing here today. Very warm morning. And David Boone, after winning the toss, elected to bowl. The lineup for New South Wales, a very strong batting lineup. Tasmania have done well to dismiss the opening pair, Slater and Taylor, the Waugh brothers, Chee Quee, Matthews, McNamara, Emery, Holsworth, McGrath and Whitney. After 17 overs, 2 for 74.
Yes, Bayliss left out of the New South Wales side. That's the Tasmanian side. Bauer's the 12th man there. Boone obviously the captain. And young Ricky Ponting is in there. Looking forward to see him bat later on the day, especially against McGrath, Whitney and Holsworth. This is quite a bouncy wicket.
Colin Miller driven straight down the ground. The Waugh brothers love this ground. They time the ball so sweetly that goes all the way. The straight drive great value for shots here at North Sydney.
That's umpire Darryl Hare. Have another look at this straight drive. Ball coming onto the bat right off the meat there, and he didn't even have time to get his foot back as it goes flying away down to the boundary at the far end. Lovely shot there from Stephen Waugh.
Very important game for Tasmania. Just narrowly beaten by West Australian Perth last weekend. New South Wales always a force in this competition. They've got a great line-up, the points table. West Australia leading with 2 wins in 2 games.
Yes, that net run rate across on the right-hand side important too. All the sides very conscious of their position there. You can see New South Wales doing pretty well. Western Australia 0.22, and Queensland have already got behind the 8 ball. They were in a negative position. Remember, they missed out because of that last season. So that's the Mercantile Mutual points table.
And they're playing under what I would say ideal conditions. This pitch is very hard and bouncy, much like the Wacker pitch. It's flat, it's hard, it's been rolled, and the curator here has done a superb job.
Yes, that surface, a little wander across it as I strolled across the commentary box this morning, and you certainly get the feeling that it's as hard as a rock. Try to get the key through the surface. That was very hard. And since then we've seen the medium paces extract a little bit of bounce. So a lovely looking surface. Nice and flat as well. Batting wickets here are always very good. We'll have a close look at that in a second.
No run.
It's just on the subject of the pitch. There it is. It was reported just prior to the start of play. Have a look at the white look about it there, and it's as dry as a bone. And as I said, nice and hard in the surface. So we should see lots of runs here today. And apart from that surface, the outfield too is quite hard.
Tasmania doing well, picking up 2 wickets. They've defended well in the fielding. The fielding's been sharp. They've held their catches. Farrell and Courtney taking the catches. They defended well. It's so fast you have to knock the ball down. Once it's passed, it's always going to be 4 runs here at North Sydney. And David Boone elected to bowl first. And his bowlers doing a pretty good job attacking off stump, just a fraction short on 1 or 2 occasions, but overall pretty good line and length. Charge, doesn't beat square leg. That's the over bowled. 2 for 79. For 79. Steve Waugh 18, Mark Waugh 10, both looking very good touch, as did Michael Slater, who played superbly early on. He was well caught at point at 25. It's well fielded, a knock down there, bad bounce. They're really trying hard. The first batsman out was Captain Mark Taylor. It was a very good catch.
Yes, Courtney took the catch. Have a look at him going for the pull shot here, or trying to really loft it away over mid-wicket, and this was in the air for a long time. I thought it was going to get away from him, but have a look at this. Nice and controlled. Courtney taking the catch there. So that was the end. Oh, what a good shot. That is straight down the ground, and 4 runs. Well, right off the meat of the bat. Lovely, effortless timing there from Mark Waugh. Have a look at this.
He's well aware of the Mercantile Mutual signs too. Mark Waugh, he hit straight. There it goes, the lofted off drive just bounces short of the sign next to the side screen. Michael Slater was the second batsman out for 25. He was well caught. The ball swung a bit, a little bit careless here. It's a fraction wide. The head went askew. And Farrell took the catch at point. A vital wicket. It was 2 for 49. And Mark Waugh looks in superb touch. He's driven 3 times through the offside for 4, and that straight hit. He's just leaning on the ball, not trying to hit it too hard. 14 runs, 3 boundaries, and 15 balls faced.
Be a few folk in the crowd getting ready to take a few catches as well with these two batting. $100 a catch. You can see them almost getting ready to jump up in the air. So any 6 caught by a member of the crowd will earn that member of the crowd $100, and there the signs are as well. It's the temptation for the batsman. There's a couple at square leg and 2 down the ground.
Beautifully driven, just a single. The over bowled is 2 for 86. Overs bowled. New South Wales 2 for 86. Tasmania be reasonably pleased with that. It's at 280, 300 ground. There's the outfield's fast. Short boundaries. Miller to continue. It's been a fraction wide of off stump Colin Miller. Long off. The crowd here very noisy, very appreciative of the straight play of the New South Welshman. Still plenty of room, but looks like a crowd of about 6,000 or 7,000 already.
Oh, great atmosphere it is. That's the hill area. Have a look at that. Bit of fun up in the hill. Lots of youngsters out there as well. Nice and comfortable. Bit of shade on this ground too, if that's what you want. Beautiful lush outfield. So a very good crowd here at North Sydney Oval.
Bowled inside edge to finally just the single. The first false stroke from Mark Waugh, who's looked in superb touch.
That went flying off the inside edge. Step back a little bit. So that's the O'Reilly stand. Moving around to the Duncan Thompson stand. Alongside the Duncan Thompson stand is the Molly Dive stand down at the far end of the ground. And that beautiful big Moreton Bay fig tree, which is over 100 years old, separating the Molly Dive stand from the Bob stand. And they brought that one over from the Sydney Cricket Ground, and that's the hill area. Lots of folks have decided that that's the place to be today. The Moreton Bay fig tree is being used as a stand as well today. She looks as happy as a bee, right behind the bowler's arm. Look at that specimen of a tree. Really very pretty.
Home at the North Sydney Rugby League side. The Bears. So delivering well bowled, well fielded by cover. Beautiful old tree and giving some shade from the patrons at long off. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the bowlers here today. It seems to be a superb track. Hot day. All points indicate a big score. Down to long on this time, beautifully played, good use of the feet. Waugh in superb touch, 2 for 93. In 1989, Alan Border arrives home to a hero's welcome after he helps Australia regain the Ashes for the first time on English soil in 55 years. Read about this great achievement through the eyes of a great Australian in Alan Border, Beyond 10,000, My Life Story. A beautifully produced book, that. It's out now, the special leather-bound edition. Recall 008620077. It's only $100. Have your credit cards ready. Superb production. Great player, a great book.
Yes, it's important to have that credit card ready, and what a good Christmas present that would be too. So that free call number, make a note of that. If you can't do it right now, take the note of the number and then go and get the credit card, and there'll be a delivery before Christmas for you. A tremendous gift from Alan Border there. A fantastic book. Special leather bound edition. That's the one to have. That'll be the great memento.
All signed by Alan Border. Beautifully produced book, and some wonderful reading back here at North Sydney. A very challenging period for Tasmania. David Boone, the skipper, aware of that. 2 for 93 with the Waugh brothers in full flight. That's what the crowd want to see. I think the crowd will be about 10 or 12,000 this afternoon. They're going to get great value for money. Conditions perfect.
Yes, this could be interesting too. Michael Farrell has been brought into the attack now. He bowls off spinners, and this is not the biggest ground in the country, so it'll be a testing time for him. Sean Young has just completed his 10 overs. 2 for 43, his figures. And that's the reason why we're seeing Michael Farrell in the attack now.
For 2, it's well timed, just the single. There's the spectators in this match, 2 for every catch taken, $100 given. There's 14 spotters in the crowd. But the New South Wales batsmen will be aware they wouldn't want to lose 2 or 3 quick wickets either, because this is going to be a big scoring match. They've lost 2 early wickets for Slater and Taylor back in the dressing room. Beautiful day. Good running, good fielding. High-class match so far. Conditions are perfect. Weather forecast is excellent. Maximum 28, northwest winds. Ideal for batting, fielding and bowling.
Let's talk about beautiful one day, perfect the next. We've had some tremendous weather in New South Wales. Certainly in Sydney it's been a combination of lovely sunshine, pretty cool evenings. A really lovely day again today.
The groundsman set it up with a good batting wicket. Plenty of bounce and pace for the fast bowlers. Wayne Holsworth should be quite sharp here this afternoon. But at the moment it's the off spinner. Right arm over the wicket. Very little turn, some bounce. It's a big hit. Almost a slog down to long on, just the single.
Yes, he looked as if he was trying to heave that one over the top of mid-on's head. Didn't quite middle it. This could have ended up going straight to the fieldsman. Just watch Mark Waugh here. Outside off stump, trying to heave it across to the leg. Hit the bottom of the bat. Quite lucky there. See, he normally hits them so straight.
This field. It's the single. These are the danger overs for Tasmania. When the makeshift bowler comes on, you must field well, defend, and give 200% in field.
Trying to get that one through, succeeding just getting it past the extra cover there for just the single.
It's a good start from Farrell. It's 2 for 98. Two for 98 after 21 overs. Waugh brothers bringing up the 50 partnership with a magnificent late cut, not a square cut. Steve Waugh just waiting for that delivery, helped it on its way, and a fast outfield did the rest.
You won't see many better shots than this one. This is perfect timing and touch. You have a look at it. It's just short and outside off stump, and it did nip back a little bit. Beautifully timed away, too fast for the man down at third man, into the fence for 4.
Magnificent partnership. 100 runs off 128. New South Wales heading towards a big total. And the Waugh brothers, unfortunately another misfield. That's poor fielding, but a very dangerous partnership for Tasmania. Both fine strikers of the ball.
You just watch Waugh here. He follows through and says wait to his brother, and as soon as he sees the fumble there, off he goes. You can see he was almost halfway down the pitch, ready to go through to the danger end. So good thinking between the brothers. Waugh.
Colin Miller's been quite expensive. Hasn't quite got his length right. It's been a fraction full, a fraction wide as well. It's a good shot. He'll chip that into the gap there at mid-wicket. 2 more to Mark Waugh.
He's conceded 6 fours already, Miller. This again is good placement. Waugh thinking it's going to be 1 and then realizing that get 2 for that one, which he did.
Real buzz around the North Sydney Oval. Expecting the Waugh brothers to cut loose with 6s and boundaries. There's a miss hit actually, didn't quite get that. He chips it safely to mid-wicket for 2.
I reckon he's got a mate of his at mid-wicket on both ends of the ground. Looks as if he's determined to have a little flick over towards mid-wicket. There's another example of the shot he tried to play last over, and he didn't quite middle it. As we said, $100 for anyone in the crowd who catches one today. It'll be a huge cheer go up if that happens.
Ten runs off this over so far are 5 deliveries. Owen Miller bowling a difficult period, but he just hasn't got it quite right. He's coming onto the bat as well, no change of pace. He's in a slower ball or an off cutter. He's paying the penalty at the moment. Off the over, 2 for 109. Two for 109 after 22. Steve Waugh 21, Mark Waugh 27, Slater 25, Taylor 18, the batsman out. Farrell to continue. Chee Quee, Matthews, McNamara. So Tasmania could nip out 1 or 2 quick wickets now. They're in a reasonable position, but the Waugh brothers seem to be in full control. Timed the ball sweetly, Stephen Waugh, all the way on the ground. Tremendous tour of England, Steve Waugh. He's playing with enormous confidence here. He's timed that beautifully. Middle leg, placed it.
There's a big temptation on the part of both of these batsmen to loft the off-spinner out of the ground. Just a little glance down the ground there and one across the mid-wicket. Got a deep mid-off who's quite wide and a deep square leg. No one in the middle.
There it goes. Over she goes, dropped by the man in the blue hat. Just missed $100.
He should be shot at dawn. That has gone flying straight towards him. He's holding his hand up. That's him down there. No, not the youngster. And we'll see it now. It's gone flying away down the ground. Pretty hard one, mind you. Nice and flat. There he is. Up he goes, and he's missed it. That's him there, and he realised that he's just missed a chance of $100.
It was well struck. It was going. It was like a tracer ball. It was flat. And the old baseball glove on that occasion. So the first 6. Beautifully struck shot. It was hit like tremendous timing and power by Mark Waugh. It wasn't a lofted shot. It was low and flat, much like you've seen from Ted Dexter and Graham Pollock, the good strikers of the ball. Hit it beautifully. It's well bowled.
The bowler saw the batsman coming then and just fired it in a bit low and a bit shorter. So the first 6 of the match has been hit. Mark Waugh smashing it down the ground.
It's gone for the second. This is a big one. This is up into the broadcasting position. That's a magnificent stroke. Mark Waugh in great touch. 13 off the over. 2 for 122.
Let's have a look at this. The commentary box is down the far end. I tell you, this nearly came through the window. Up she goes. We're up at the top there, and it misses by a fraction. What a lovely straight hit that was. 2 for 122.
Welcome back. A real buzz going around the North Sydney Oval as Rod Tucker comes into the attack. 2 for 122. Mark Waugh 39 off 31. 2 magnificent 6s in that last over. It's a wide and it's called. This is what the crowd come to see, and the Waugh brothers turning it on. Hot day and the pressure really on Tasmania.
It's interesting too to watch the crowd as the bowler runs in. They all stop and have a glance as the shot's played, just in case. Tucker is operating from the members' end.
Steve Waugh batting very sensibly. New South Wales still don't want to lose wickets here. Steve Waugh batting in a very professional method, working the ball well, striking into the gaps. At the other end, his brother really looks in the mood to kill somebody, really hitting the ball with tremendous power. Run rate 5.3 up to 23.1 overs.
On target for 270 odd here. Ball and down goes Stephen Waugh. So they have to settle for 1. He's probably onto his heels there a bit. You notice the spikes in the front section of his boot. Watch him here. Just on his heels, and that's the end of that.
Right down the middle of the pitch was not really on either. Very hard wicket here at North Sydney. Tucker's got plenty of experience. He'll try and use the change of pace. Try and bowl too quickly. Beautiful day. Just a bit of crowd cover coming across the ground. That's the view looking straight down the ground from the members' end. Welcome to viewers in Adelaide to the Mercantile Mutual Cup match, New South Wales versus Tasmania at the North Sydney Oval. New South Wales away to a great start.
Yes, the news here is that Slater and Taylor are out. The brothers Waugh are out there, and they're off to a flyer. This is the New South Wales batting lineup. They were put in by David Boone. And you can see there Slater and Taylor back in the pavilion, but the war's going really well. And Chee Quee due to come in next, followed by Matthews and McNamara. So plenty of batting there, but they really are going well. 2 for 125, 2 big sixes have been hit already.
Long off for 2. Maybe with the single, but it's the over bowl. 2 for 126. For 126, and a warm welcome to Richie Bennett.
Thanks, Bill. Morning, everyone. 24 overs gone here, and already we've had some terrific cricket played. Lovely ground here, small ground, and it's conducive to quick scoring. There's 1 or 2 fielding adjustments being made without the bowler realising it. Mick Farrell's the bowler, bowling off spin. Steve Waugh's taking strike. That's got to be out. Well, I can hardly believe that. Steve Waugh turned completely blind on Ricky Ponting's throw. Didn't even bother to look, just called, yes, okay, I'll go for 2. Mark Waugh responded all right. Slightly unwillingly, I suggest. But Ricky Ponting came around quickly. He's got a beautiful arm. Steve Waugh had absolutely no chance. Turned with his back to the thrower. I know a lot of the modern day players say, oh, it doesn't matter, we just judge that there's 2 there. There's only 1 3/4 that time. 3 for 127. New batsman here at North Sydney Oval is Chee Quee. He's only played the 1 match we've televised so far. That was up in Brisbane the other day, and looked impressive. Came in at the tail of the innings. Now Mick Farrell is the bowler. This is what happened here. Keep your eye on Steve Waugh as he turns. Turned with his back, and Mark Waugh wasn't all that keen. He had an idea of just what a strong arm Ricky Ponting has, and it was almost a sacrifice.
Yes, he won't be happy. I suspect he's in the dressing room at the moment, having probably let his bat go the minute he walked through the door. But that's not going to help him. The fact of the matter is he turned blind, and his brother didn't think he was going to make it. Here's a different angle. The ball went really quickly to the boundary there, picked up. Ponting's got a good arm, and in it came, and you can see he's nowhere near getting back 3 or 4 metres out of his ground.
And I'd suggest the main reason for that is the size of this ground, a touch of misjudgment there. The ball was picked up just some 15 yards inside the boundary, but that is not far away from the wicketkeeper for the throw. This is a small ground, North Sydney Oval. Richard Chee Quee facing Nick Farrell. There's the single behind square, and it's 3 for 128.
Got a couple of games.
Three for 128, and 151 balls gone. Slater is out for 25, Taylor 18, and Steve Waugh now for 35 from 41 balls. Played quite beautifully while he was there, and the sadness certainly in the dressing room that he's been run out. Wonderful piece of fielding by Ricky Ponting. Came round very quickly, skirted away to his left, threw with a lovely flat throw back to Danny Buckingham. Tucker is the bowler, Richard Chee Quee. Wasn't much in that either. Richard Chee Quee is not quite as fleet of foot as Steve Waugh. Nick Courtney must have reckoned for a moment there that he was in with the chance. A talented stroke player, this young Randwick player. And while Rod Tucker is bowling, here's Ian Chappell now, and with him is Peter Sterling.
Thank you very much, Richie. Peter Sterling, you're a bit early for the rugby league season, mate.
It's an old stomping ground. I feel quite comfortable. Actually, I feel more comfortable now than I was 5 minutes ago with my back turned with the Waugh brothers in Port Cry. But a great day to be out here, of course, and it's like a big crowd building up this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly a good atmosphere. I guess you've been on the receiving end of many a thumping from the mighty Bears at this ground, have you, in your playing days?
As I was telling you earlier, I've heard a lot of adjectives put in front of North Sydney Bears. Mighty has never been one that's immediately jumped to mind, but you know, they've become very competitive, and I think, you know, just having a look around here, this sporting arena has really developed into, well, not just a great rugby league ground, but I can't think of a better place to be watching cricket, a ground also where you know a lot of runs are going to be scored.
Yes, there's a real buzz around the ground. You get the feeling that, especially when the spinner's bowling, the crowd are expecting sixes.
Well, I think they were warming to the Waugh brothers not so long ago. Probably a little bit disappointed. A shame, certainly, with runs so easy, or they seem to be fairly easy to come by with the Waughs going so well, that a run out would happen. But, you know, Michael Slater looked like he was about to open up and played probably a fairly rash shot. Now a crucial time for Tasmania, I suppose. They've got a couple of key batsmen out. Now they really have to consolidate.
What's your interest in cricket, mate?
Well, I had the historical Australian sporting upbringing. Summer was the cricket and football in the winter, and you know, I think that you'll find that most rugby league players have a very close interest in the cricket, and a lot of the guys who play in the cricket side, the Waugh brothers, Alan Border, all very keen rugby league supporters. So quite a sort of a cross following it for both codes, and you know, I've followed the cricket for as many years as I can remember.
The end of the over there from Rod Tucker, and New South Wales 3 for 130. And just a few changes being made to the field. And Mick Farrell, the bowler. I guess a lot of similarities with certainly Test cricketers and Test rugby league players, in that you tour and you're away together for so long that you develop great comradeship.
I think probably the most important thing on those kind of tours is the harmony. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of ability in the side. We've seen that with the rugby league tours and with the Ashes tour last year for the cricketers. But you're not going to have success on those tours being away for so long unless the side gets on very well. And I suppose that comes back to the individuals in the touring party. And in a lot of ways, the hierarchy as to, you know, how they structure the kind of tours and maybe what kind of leeway the players are given, time off and things like that. So, yeah, very important. But again, the highlight of a player's career is to have an opportunity to tour England, whether you're playing rugby league or cricket.
Single there to Mark Waugh takes him along to 41. Richard Chee Quee on 3, facing Mick Farrell. So tell me, Sterlo, young cricketers, you know, have the backyard test matches. Young rugby league players do the same thing growing up. You do that?
Mate, I was the best backyard player you've ever seen, the best track worker ever. Yeah, for sure. You know, like I say, as a kid, I think, you know, it's a great, healthy way of life for Australians to be involved in the cricket and the football sport in general. You know, I just think it's so important that our kids are playing something. I think David Boone is a perfect example of that. You know, when he came into first-class cricket, you couldn't hide him in the field. No disrespect to David, but through practice and perseverance, he's now the best close-in fieldsman in the world. And I think that, you know, kids at home, no better example of practice makes perfect.
Appeal for LBW there, but given not outmated Booney's size, you can't hide him anywhere. Don't worry about in the field. Farrell to Mark Waugh. And that's a lovely placement there from Mark Waugh. He really does make batting look very easy, Mark Waugh. I suppose, what, like a bit like a Brett Kenny?
Well, yeah, you look in both sports, well, in all sports, you see the natural players, don't you? You know, obviously great technique, great ability, but the timing, I think, is the most important thing. I was sitting up watching the golf a couple of nights ago, the Faldos and that, they just have tremendous timing, so little effort. And just watching the Waugh brothers out here today, and they really just, they make it look so easy.
Another good example of the placement there from Mark Waugh. That one will be cut off. And they just get 2. Thank you very much to Peter Sterling. New South Wales 3 for 139.
For 138 here at North Sydney Oval. Rob Tucker is the bowler. Richard Chee Quee is taking strike. Ian Chappell talking with Peter Sterling a few moments ago. Peter Sterling, one of the greatest footballers ever to play for New South Wales and Australia, and has an association with Waugh, as is the case with Mark Taylor, Michael Slater, and also Jeffrey Lawson. Peter will be guest commentator with us this afternoon when the New South Wales batsmen and Tasmanian bowlers continue their jousting. Here. And that's exactly what Richard Chee Quee needs to do. Mark Waugh is the man in form. Chee Quee may be later in his innings, but needs to keep pushing the singles to rotate the strike. The fielder out there was Mick Farrell. Now for Mark Waugh, a man has gone out to long on, pushing around towards those Mercantile mutual signs. Rod Tucker is the bowler. Looking for 2 and perfectly placed. Just 20 yards away from 3 men there. Boone and Courtney, and Ponting out on the boundary. Ian Chappell has moved up the stairs like a rugby league winger, not a half-back. Good afternoon, Ian.
Good afternoon, Rich. It wasn't exactly like Kenny Irvine, I can tell you. One of the men who the scoreboard is named after here, one of the great wingers for North Sydney. He certainly wasn't moving like Kenny in his heyday up the stairs. He was pretty quick. Wouldn't like to have chased him around North Sydney Oval.
No ball called. We've got 2 off the bat. Chee Quee will come back very quickly. An extraordinary innings from Mark Waugh. He's reached his half-century. It's quite a good crowd in here at North Sydney Oval already, and they have been given a real treat. It's the end of Tucker's over, 3 for 143. .28 overs gone, 3 for 143. Mark Waugh 51 from just 40 deliveries faced. Richard Chee Quee 4 from 16. He faces Mick Farrell.
There are many prizes. There are prizes for the crowd here today. $100 for a catch. Many prizes for the players in this Mercantile Mutual competition.
Farrell will think for a moment or two that he is badly done by there.
Outside the line of off stump when the ball struck Richard Chee Quee on the pad. Doesn't look as much at home against spin bowling as he does against the faster bowlers.
He's done the right thing there. He doesn't have to go mad with the stroke play. He just needs to keep pushing the singles between the fielders and let Mark Waugh have the strike. And he'll keep his own run rate up there, and at the same time give Waugh as much of the strike as possible.
Talking about the prizes on offer, the crowd, they get $100 if they can catch a 6 here today at North Sydney Oval. $50,000 for a player who hits a Mercantile Mutual sign, and there's also a prize for the fastest 50 in the competition, and currently Mark Waugh is leading by virtue of his half-century here today. So it's a very good competition. The players like it because it's been extended. They get more one-day cricket at this level. And obviously the opportunity to hit those signs. Mark Waugh's gone very close to hitting one already today.
It's 3 for 146. 9 overs gone, 3 for 146, 25 to Slater, 18 to Taylor, and Steve Waugh made 35. Here's Rod Tucker. Good cricket. Chee Quee has just pushed that out on the offside between the two advancing men, one at slightly backward point and the other at cover point, and he's given Waugh the strike.
Good placement there, making sure it was away from the fielders and also making sure that the ball wasn't hit hard. Mark Waugh scored his half century off just 40 balls. Really delighted the crowd here. And if you like to nominate the team who will be the first to hit the sign, then you'll be in the running to win $1,000. The number to call, 005560 That's the Mercantile Mutual Consumer Competition. So Mark Waugh going very close to hitting the sign at the city end. Bounced just wide of the sign on the sight board. And if you like to nominate the team that's first to hit the Mercantile Mutual sign, you've got the chance to win $1,000. Richie, I guess you would have enjoyed that interview. You're an old Parramatta fan.
Yes, and I've seen Peter Sterling play in years gone past and followed Parramatta Rugby League right from the time they were put into the first grade competition. That goes way back to the days of Vic Hay. That I can tell you is a long, long time. Well, that's a big hit. I didn't actually see anyone make the move to catch it that time. At least the guy in the outer had a go at it. In the Duncan Thompson stand, they seem to be withdrawing the digits.
Well, there's $100 up for grabs. Nobody seemed to be leaping about, brandishing the ball, wanting to claim the $100.
3 for 155. Mark Waugh 60 from just 46 balls faced. Terrific innings. Richard Chee Quee 7. He's facing McFarrell. Farrell's bowling from the city end.
It's interesting being down among the crowd when the spinner is bowling, and you get the feeling that everybody in the crowd is expecting sixes because it's a small ground, and as soon as the ball's lofted, there's a big shout goes up. But you could hear the buzz as Mick Farrell was called into the attack, the buzz that went around the crowd.
Michael Di Venuto is out in the outfield, does well.
Just polite applause for the twos, saving the loud applause and the screams for the sixes. David Boone now just having a chat with his bowler, perhaps asking him if he would like the mid-wicket fielder to drop back about 20 or 30 yards and stand out in the middle of the mound. In fact, it is the mid-wicket fielder that they're moving him away from the Mercantile Mutual sign.
wonderfully well played. An outstanding stroke from Mark Waugh. The ball drifted away from him in the air. He started off, I think, to hit it straight down the ground, changed his mind and eased it away over extra cover. Wonderful cricket here at North Sydney Oval this morning. Nick Courtney is the fielder out at long off. Three for 163 off 31. Three for 163, 67 from 49 balls from Mark Waugh. Chee Quee has 7. Batsman out Slater 25, Taylor 18 and Steve Waugh 35. Run out with a brilliant throw from Ricky Ponting from the outfield. And just a single to Ponting.
Mark Waugh has hit 3 sixes, one of them a flat hit that disappeared into the crowd. I was interested, we were setting up the interview downstairs when it occurred, and I was interested in Tony Gregg's comments that the bloke should have caught it. Seeing it from ground level, I reckon he was pretty courageous even trying to catch it because it was going like the clappers.
It went from bat to that guy in the blue cap just like a doodlebug.
It was certainly a doodlebug. It was very dangerous. In fact, when it was hit, I looked around and expected to see the crowd scattering in all directions because it was a definite crowd killer. So I reckon the guy deserves, if not $100, he deserves a medal for trying to catch it.
We'll give him a Mercantile Mutual medal in the form of an open hand. 3 for 165. Chee Quee has got away from the strike now, giving it to Mark Waugh once again. 8 from 27 balls. Oh, well done. Very, very well done by Nick Courtney. Mark Waugh has picked that up and hit it almost exactly where he wanted. He was trying to get it down to fine leg, knowing that the man had been brought in inside the circle, and got it instead straight to Courtney, just a little short of him, and it was a fine catch.
That's the sort of thing that if you're the captain of the side and you're a bit cheeky, you can say, ah, well, exactly the way I planned it. And a very good dismissal there for Tasmania. Mark Waugh out for 68.
Greg Matthews is the new batsman coming out to replace Mark Waugh. Wonderful innings from Mark Waugh, and out to a brilliant catch. Rodney Tucker, the man who got him, and Nick Courtney, the man diving at short fine leg, difficult catches, those. He had to go slightly sideways, just a fraction to his left, and diving forward as well. That is just about the most difficult type of catch. Mark Waugh, for an instant, would have thought he had 4 runs because he picked out the area where the man had been brought in inside the circle. Instead, he's having a drink to cool his fevered brow. Greg Matthews and Richard Chee Quee. The problem of accelerating and not losing any more wickets. New South Wales at the moment 4 down. They wouldn't want another breakthrough. Perfect batting pitch and small ground. It's a 250 at 300 ground. And a good over from Rodney Tucker, 4 for 165.
For 165. Shouts of bowler. Richard Chee Quee home quite easily at the other end. New South Wales having lost 4 wickets. And Mark Waugh, the last man out, and he wasn't happy about the mode of dismissal. I think he was thinking when he hit it, there's 4 runs, and you can see him quite annoyed with the mode of dismissal as he rips his gloves off. But it was an excellent catch. Moving into the commentary position now, Tony Gregg and Peter Sterling.
Thank you, Ian. Well, Matthews out there now. So we have the left-hand, right-hand combination for the off-spinner. And that hand is in the air because they're trying to get the sight screen into the right position. Matthews now satisfied. This is over number 33. It's well played, but they have a sweeper back there, so Matthews will have to settle for 1.
Key time, isn't it, Tony? Just when the New South Wales batsmen look like they'd really go on with the job, Tasmanians have come up with that wicket. Happened with Slater. I know Mark Waugh did get 68, but it looked like he could have got 168 the way things were going. 4 down. Another quick wicket now. Big problems for the Blues.
What a great opportunity this is for Richard Chee Quee. Strong he is. Very nearly took the head off the umpire up in Queensland. It's one of his straight drives.
Important too, I would imagine, with the fact that he'll come into the side with the Test players leaving. So this kind of pressure situation will put him in good stead for later innings.
Yes, these sides over the years have played 10 matches in the domestic one-day competition, and you can see there New South Wales really have dominated the contests.
And there you see the head-to-head, New South Wales winning both matches there. Those 2 wins at North Sydney Oval. 4 for 168 after 33.
Magnificent view there, the palm trees in the background. We've seen the Moreton Bay fig tree and some nice lush grass there for the folks to enjoy the cricket on. Down at square leg where they have that Mercantile Mutual target.
Single area at the square leg, and there's the bob stand, one of the stands that came across from the Sydney cricket ground. And changes out there. I was fortunate enough to play many games out at the cricket ground in front of that stand, and doesn't make a marvellous picture here at North Sydney Oval. And going back to your days, Tony, they call it the bob stand because a shilling to get in. I don't sort of identify with that kind of pound, shilling and pence, but I'm sure that you'd remember those days very well.
Don't jump up and down, Sterlo. Your hairline is almost exactly the same as mine.
Oh, I knew we'd get into this kind of...
You've got to very quickly change your mind and get back. And, it was important there that Chee Quee looked to me as if he wanted the single. No, he didn't.
No,
it was, in fact, Matthews who wanted the single, and Chee Quee sent him back.
He backed up a long way, Greg Matthews. Good runner between wickets. And he brought about his undoing there.
Bit of bat in that one. He looks as if he's trying to get down the wicket, perhaps just getting a little frustrated. Richard Chee Quee. 35 balls he's had for his 11 runs.
Good delivery there into the body, just short of a good length. Going down leg side. Great concentration there from Chee Quee.
Currently at about 5, that makes it 250, so we can expect them to score 275 as long as they don't lose too many wickets too quickly here. So well played, clubbed away down to mid-on. They'll go back to the second. No, he changed his mind. So 3 runs off the over, 4 down for 171.
New South Wales 4 for 171 here at North Sydney Oval. Chee Quee on 12, Greg Matthews on 2. And the spin continues. Chee Quee facing up.
He's just looking down the ground for what he may go for. It's pretty well covered. Boone set this field very well. He'd have to go straight over the top, just back himself, I suspect.
Tony, I'd be going for one of those signs if they're worth 50,000 today.
So if he can't go over the top, that little push that he has there into the gap is not a bad idea. He and Matthews will look to accumulate 5, perhaps even 6 singles and over, and wait for the bad ball.
I think they'd be disappointed if they couldn't get that. Plenty of gaps around. Nobody at square leg there. Push around. There's an easy single through the point, the gully area. Also an easy run. Bowler now coming around the wicket.
Nice placement. So another 1. So after that fantastic flyer they got for a start, I suspect that Mark Taylor will be just a little bit disappointed with where they've got here. That's the best way of showing you exactly what's happened. You can see how it died a little bit up to about the 8th over there. Then they started to turn it on, lost a couple of wickets, but maintained a decent run rate. And then all of a sudden down she came again, and these last perhaps 10 overs haven't been quite what they expected. Domestic.
Domestic and loud, a big appeal there. Oh, a little bit disappointed with that one. Over the wicket there. Way forward, maybe a touch leg side.
It's the off-spinner bowling from very wide there. The umpire be aware of that. The top off-spinners tend to get nice and close, so that if they hit the pad, there's always a better chance of the ball hitting the stumps. Tidy over, just 2 from it, 4 down for 173. So 4 for 173. Chee Quee 13 or 42 balls there. That'll be niggling at him a bit. He'll be betwixt and between. Won't be quite sure whether to really get stuck in or whether, in point of fact, just to keep accumulating 1s and 2s.
Change in bowling now. Mark Ridgeway coming back into the attack. Bowled 6 overs for 19 runs. Matthews picks up a single off the hip and past square leg. Roll of the wrists. Simple little single down there. Doing a good job, Tasmania. The last 4 or 5 overs have been very good ones.
There's David Boone wearing those very snazzy dark glasses out there. Be very happy with the way things are going, just lately anyhow.
Very important to this Tasmanian side, obviously, is experience. I just think his mental toughness too. He's one of the real competitors of the game.
Oh, he smashed that one. That's the one Chee Quee loves. Very nearly decapitated the umpire up in Queensland. And he bludgeoned that one down the ground.
And I think that's exactly where the ball was going before the delivery had left the hands. Step sideways. A big baseball swing. Greg Matthews actually started to run there. I think it was fairly safe it was going to go to 4 for 4, Greg.
So he's got the message, Chee Quee. He's decided that he's going to open his shoulders a bit. He's a pretty tough-looking character. So just the one boundary, that straight one.
Here we see the single there. Again, giving himself plenty of room. Outside off stump. Good follow through. Very busy player, Greg Matthews, isn't he? Leaves nothing to chance. Always fidgeting. Himself ready.
Oh, he's hit that one over the top just. And once again, down to the fence for 4. So that's the second boundary off that over. It's 4 down for 184. So 4 for 184. Farrell's going to continue with his off spinners. I'm up here with Peter Sterling. Now, what about these rugby league players, Peter, and their cricket? You guys, when you were playing, did you get out and play a bit of cricket?
Well, we're obviously very talented at all sports, Tony. It's a prerequisite to play rugby league that you're an all-round sport, and I guess you have to make a decision these days, one way or the other. Another single there for Greg Matthews. The season's overlapped now, and really if you're going to be serious about one of the sports, you have to make that decision. But guys like Les Johns, who I think was playing grade cricket only a couple of years ago and still scoring plenty of runs. Great ability in both codes.
Smash that one through extra cover, and that'll go to the fence 4. Very fast outfield. Into the fence she goes. So Richard Chee Quee really opening up now. That's his third boundary. Lovely shot.
As the shackles have been released, it was well contained for a while, Chee Quee, but in the last 2 overs, the boundaries have flowed. Plenty of room there through the cover area. Even though that fieldsman didn't have far to travel, still beaten easily.
It's just getting back to those to rugby players. My experience as a youngster back in South Africa with these big, strong rugby union players was that they were pretty useful at smashing the off spinners and the leggies around. Let's watch this delivery. Sit down the ground as well, be fielded mid-off, so they'll probably settle for 1. They come back for 2. And has he got him? No, I think he might have just been home. Simply the benefit of the doubt there. What do you think, Sterlo?
Well, from our commentary position here, it looked as though he was out. Must have been very close. I was operating as a third umpire there and was wrong. Good throw. Well, I think I was right. It's
Yes,
a fair way up.
I suppose one of the things about these little run-outs is that the umpire's probably giving the batsman the benefit of the doubt there. We'll show you this at normal speed in a minute. It's a big case for that replay to be used in these one-day games. Imagine if that was the last ball of the match. Now have a look at this.
Well, it's obviously a very tough decision for the umpire. This is normal. Well, there's the slow down there, and there's no doubt that the bat is out of the crease. A let off there for New South Wales.
That's well run. Right, we'll come back to that in a moment and have a look at it at normal speed. It's 4 for 192. Four for 192. Now, David Boone is very keen on the third umpire. He's seen it in operation, and unfortunately, it's not operating here today. This would have been an example of where it would have been very useful. Let's hit through extra cover, and I'll end up getting 2 here. Yes, we should start, however, by showing you the umpire's problem with normal speed. Now, this is at normal speed.
You see the fieldsman picking up a good throw over the stumps. He's in good position, but and there's the there's the call.
So unfortunately, it wasn't available to him here. So a close call there for New South Wales. Yes, just getting back to these rugby league players playing in playing cricket matches when I was young. They were, as I said, they didn't mind
cricket back in those days, don't you?
They didn't mind playing the spinners, but I tell you what, when it came to facing a quick bowler, there wasn't much room for the square leg umpire. Big tough blokes who played for the Springboks rugby, and I tell you what, they didn't like that little hard ball.
Tony, I think in any sport, self-preservation is a great thing, and to make sure you have a long career in any sport, these are the measures that you need to take. And if it's a cross-bat swipe from the square leg position, so be it. Discretion, much the better part of valour. There's a wide. South Wales creep towards that 200 mark, the 38th over. Raise of the eyebrows there, didn't think there was much in it, but no doubt. Ridgeway just straying. Greg Matthews having a lofty swing.
It's well fielded and good calling from Matthews too. It was a weight, and quite right too, because had he gone there, the bowler was back at the stumps. This would have been a run out.
Moved very nicely in the field there, and you see Chee Quee backing up. Saw a little bit of danger there and just slid the bat.
Matthews trying to get that into the gap. Just a little bit of edge in that one.
Matthews disappointed with himself there. Just the one down to fine leg. He was looking for 4, trying to dissect the fieldsman down there. The placement wasn't there.
Six off the over, 4 for 198. Welcome back to North Sydney Oval, and that new Inside Edge magazine, the October issue, is now on sale. There's some tremendous articles in there. Martin the Magician is one of them. Martin Crowe and his side in Australia now. Furlough, which is a story about the Australians and the holidays they went on after the tour of the Ashes tour. Dino's War, that's very interesting. Dean Jones fighting a battle on 2 fronts. Victoria and indeed trying to get back in the side, and the tour guide is in Inside Edge, the October edition. And Richie Benno there looking very closely at the Waugh cloud. Still a few critics of Stephen Waugh, despite the fact that he really did make some runs in England, played very well. So Inside Edge, the October edition, it's a fantastic magazine. Get hold of it.
There's some great reading there, and not bad reading for New South Wales on the scoreboard. Chee Quee. Well, there's a chance here. Sharp fielding, but well run there from Greg Matthews. 4 for 199. Well, there might have been a few problems there, but Matthews had gone a long way down the pitch to back up. It's turned around the corner. Matthews making his ground.
It's again a close call. So Matthews on strike now. See if we can try and pick where he's going to get the ball away. There's no one if he sweeps just behind square. He should be able to get away to the boundary. That brings up the 200.
And with 10 overs to go at the completion of this one, New South Wales looking at a score of 275, I would imagine. The 200 off 232 balls. As we mentioned earlier, got a flying start, New South Wales. Tasmania have done well to contain.
So I think this is sensible cricket too. These two taking the ones wherever possible, looking for the twos to put a bit of extra pressure on the fieldsman, and then going for the big one whenever it's over pitched or short. Chee Quee, I think, is the danger man. He's the stronger of the two. Can get it over the top of the infield.
Almost falling over playing that shot, Greg Matthews. Giving himself plenty of room for the square cut and almost overbalanced in the end. Found an easy single. Pitching well outside the off stump.
Right, now this is going to be interesting. Chee Quee facing the off spinner. Oh, he's bludgeoned that one down the ground, and it's gone 2 bounces into the fence. Very, very good shot. He loves that straight, low, straight drive. There's going to be a few umpires get a bit nervous about him.
He's been very impressive, hasn't he? Took a long while to score his first boundary, but they've come in rapid succession. No problems there, not a fieldsman in sight. And another 4.
Again, bowled from very wide. So the end of another over, 4 for 207. Welcome back. 4 for 207. Richard Chee Quee has gone to 39 now. That little equation of his looks a little better. 58 balls for 39. At one stage it looked very slow.
Good delivery there. No run. 4 for 207. And the first dismissal was Mark Taylor with the total on 39. Very good catch here from Courtney. Ball went very high. Courtney didn't panic, threw the hat off. Put himself in good position, the hands up. Very nice catch. Taylor out for 18. The single for Chee Quee takes it to 208, and the second wicket to fall was out of Slater. Be disappointed with this shot. The bat a long way from the body, and a good catch at point from Farrell. 25, 2 for 49 that was, and Tasmania been very happy to pick up 2 quick wickets. The third batsman to fall, Stephen Waugh. A run out here, a tremendous throw here from Ponting, nice and flat, straight over the stumps. Waugh out for 35. They were looking very dangerous. Caught a long way out of his ground, Stephen Waugh.
Yes, he wasn't very happy with that. You could see that he turned blind and ended up a long way out. And then lastly we saw Mark Waugh out. He made 68 and really did look the danger man. This is how it happened. Just flicked the ball away. Courtney again into the action. Good catch there, coming forward, catching it nice and low. So 68 off just 51 balls. What a danger man he is. That wicket falling at 165. So they've taken it on now to 4 for 210 off 240 balls.
And that 50 from Mark Waugh off something like 39 balls, which is the quickest, the fastest 50 that we've had in the competition to date. Chee Quee, who I think had a failure during the week against the AIS, be happy to be getting a few runs out here this afternoon.
Four for 211. For 211 the score. 40 overs have been bowled, so Chee Quee and Matthews out there at the moment. Jeff Lawson has moved into the commentary box, and with him is Bill.
Thanks, Tony. Getting to the hurried hour. 40 overs gone, 10 left. Cole Miller's come back. The southern end, David Boone just having a chat with him, just deciding on the field placements. Cole Miller 5 overs for 39. His first spell. And he could be looking at a pretty tough day at the office. Well, his first spell from the northern end. There are the bowling figures. Sean Young, pretty good overs. 10 overs, 2 for 43. And on this small ground, quick outfield, that was a pretty good effort. Cole Miller 5 for 39. Bowled a little bit wide. He had to bowl to Mark and Steve Waugh. He's got 4 in the circle, as he has to have at this stage of the game. Miller to Matthews.
It's Tasmania, if they can pick up a quick wicket here, and with a real chance, could be a bit of a boil over, but if they don't, they'll be chasing 275 or thereabouts. It certainly has been a batsman's paradise here at North Sydney Oval, and the Tasmanians have defended pretty well. Very keen in the field, have taken their catches. Farrell picking up a very good catch at point early on. That set the scene. So the final 10 overs. It's a wide call. They've asked for a catch down the leg, so they're asking for a catch. So that's interesting. Miller shouting for a catch. Matthew tried to flick it away. Let's have a good look at this.
Looked like a slower ball from Cole Miller. Well, you can see it turn back, and I think it was the old bluff. Give it a bit of an appeal. See if we can get the wide call not called for the umpire. Well, looks like he's missed it by the width of North Sydney Oval. They try to bluff the umpire on that occasion.
Matthews, a real pro. He'll just work the ball here. Can hit with power. He runs well for 2. And Colin Miller with a big job to do here against the experienced Matthews and Chee Quee in the final 10 overs. Very noisy and happy crowd. Come for Slater. They're getting partial Slater at the moment. New South Wales certainly in control at this stage. All right. It's a single. Chee Quee really is the man that should go for the big hits. He's been there for some time. Hitting the ball cleanly straight. Just a little bit slow on his feet. It's tied up and there's a change of pace, but his figure's starting to look better. 40 off 61 balls faced.
As he came in with the dismissal of Steve Waugh, Mark Waugh was not there that long with him. And so there was 2 new batsmen. They had to consolidate a little. But he's a hitter of the ball, Richard Chee Quee. He's not really a pusher and a placer. They're the skills he will learn as he plays more of this cricket. out there with a man like Greg Matthews, who learned how to run between the wickets pretty rapidly.
Well, they can pick a single off every delivery, but not sure that they'll be happy with that in this ground. It's the sort of ground where you're looking for 10 or 12 and over in the final 5 or 6 at least, if you've got wickets in hand. But the run rate is very good at 5.31.
It's also a time when you can't afford to lose 2 quick wickets by trying to hit the ball out of the ground, so you've got to push it around to some extent. Get the loose one, yeah, put it away. Mark Waugh and Steve Waugh would certainly be after 10 and 12, but it's not Greg Matthews and Richard Chee Quee. Matthews goes the big hit, but he mistimes it. And take an easy single. Matthews perhaps is going for the 10 or 12 and over. There's still plenty of overs left out there for New South Wales. If they go along at 6 and over, you see Greg Matthews try to hit the Mercantile Mutual side at mid-wicket. The fieldsman right there in front of that. Push along at 6 and over even, which is an easy task on this ground, that you still end up with, well, 260, 270. So you've got to be careful they don't lose a couple of wickets now and end up only getting 250 or 240.
Well, they're just short of a good length, not giving the batsman too much width. So it's 4 for 218. Welcome back, 4 for 218. Chee Quee 42, Matthews 15. 41 overs bowled. Very good scoring rate, 5 runs per over. Conditions ideal. The breeze getting stronger. Ridgeway bowling with that breeze coming across his shoulder. It's 4, the full toss. That's whacked through cover. Good placement. Force for Richard Chee Quee.
Richard Chee Quee was always coming down the wicket early. And Mark Ridgeway reacted to that by trying to pitch it full in the block hole, but instead he got the low full toss. There's no man out to cover. Well, there wasn't. There's a man out there to cover that now. David Boone had 3 men in the circle on the offside. Now he's just got the 2. He's got to bring up his fine leg, though. You must have those 4 fieldsmen in the circle after that first 15 overs. Chee Quee goes again, the same place. And there's the man we just spoke about. He's out there covering now. There's 3 men out on the offside.
A reminder today at 2 p.m. live from Japan, the Formula 1 Grand Prix from Suzuka in Japan. That'll give all the form for the Adelaide Grand Prix coming up in a fortnight. So live this afternoon at 2 p.m, the Japanese Grand Prix on Wide World of Sports. Matthews, safe on the ground, just the single. Tremendous atmosphere at North Sydney. People are very close to the play. It's a good pitch. Really is a batsman's dream to play here under these conditions. Almost a full house. I'm not sure what this ground holds. Looks like about 8,000 to 10,000 people in. Getting good value for money so far. Ridgeway. He's trying the full toss or the Yorker. Good tactics if they're nice and straight. Just the single.
Mark Ridgeway trying to get the ball up there in the block hole and slightly over pitching. It's a pretty tough job when you're bowling to Greg Matthews, who moves around on the crease a lot. It can be coming down the wicket at you. It can be going sideways. Also, Richard Chee Quee has been coming down the wicket a bit too. So it's a good challenge for the bowler.
It's important not to concede boundaries. It's the over bowled, 4 for 226. In fact, it's not the over bowled, just changing over left-hander. The 42nd over been bowled. There's 1 ball remaining in this over. Just the single conceded. 4 for 227. For 227 after 42 overs. Chee Quee 49, Matthews 17. 8 overs to be bowled. We're looking at somewhere around about 270. McNamara, Emery, Andy batsmen to come. And the bowlers Holsworth, McGrath and Whitney. Colin Milner continues, right arm over the wicket. Boone doing a good job here today. Hasn't got a great attack at his disposal, but they've bowled fairly tightly. They've supported them well in the field as far as catching is concerned. If Tasmania can keep them to somewhere around about 260, they'd feel they're in with a chance on this fast outfield and good batting pitch. Stand and deliver shot there. That's a Chee Quee not using the feet at all. It's on 49.
The fact that there was an off cutter from Cole Miller. He has his slower ball is a big off spinner. That one definitely had the grip for the off cutter and moved in a bit to Richard Chee Quee. Good length though. We'll see what Cole Miller can come up with now as Dave Boone just checks the field. Will he have to pitch fuller or all shorter length again?
Well bowled.
They've gone for 4. Those bad deliveries. It's all in the past. The next ball is the most important one. Make sure your field's in the right spot. Play the numbers game a bit with the batsman. Will Chee Quee come down the wicket? And spear it into leg stump with fine leg up. Chee Quee does come down the wicket. They take a quick single. And Matthews gets there. It's still good bowling from Cole Miller.
And 50 for Richard Chee Quee. That's a good knock. He was troubled early. He didn't lose his cool at all. And in the end, he's got a hard-earned 50, and you've got to give him great confidence. And he's trying to establish a position in this strong New South Wales team. He gets a generous round of applause from this big crowd at North Sydney Oval.
71 balls, 5 boundaries. Didn't hit the first of those boundaries until he faced his 44th delivery. A very steady start, and he's really got on with the job. It's not a bad effort from a young man, just in his second limited over game this season. Replacing Michael Bevan out with that broken toe. Matthews goes over the top. Doesn't time it all that well. There is a man down there on the fence. And in fact, he's hit it so badly that they get 2.
Matthews can hit a ball. Remember his test 100 against New Zealand at the Gabba. He had quite a big 6 over mid-wicket. This time he tries to go over the offside. He's aware he got away with that. Maybe a thickest edge, falls in safely. Miscue, they pick up 2 runs. All valuable in the final overs. Needs down to third man. 4 runs off the over. 4 for 231. Welcome back to North Sydney, 4 for 231 up to 43 New South Wales. David Boone won the toss, elected to bowl. Now he's going down to the wire with Tucker and the members' end.
Rod Tucker and David Boone just very earnest discussion about exactly where he wants this field placed. And that's what you've got to do as a bowler. You've got to be happy with your field as much as the captain placing them. Rod Tucker, a pretty experienced first-class cricketer these days. Played most of that cricket for Tasmania, but some for New South Wales as well in his early days. Captain barking out some orders.
Just the one ball used in the Mercantile Mutual Cup matches. It's had a bit of hammer. Certainly coming off the bat well. It's a little bit darkish. He bowls to Matthews. Chips that nicely. It's a good shot, well placed. We're happy with 2. Matthews, a very tough competitor. Loves his cricket. Reminds the New South Wales fans watching this telecast to come down this afternoon. It's going to be a good run chase for Tasmania. Still plenty of room on the hill or in the stands. If you're lucky enough to take a catch when the ball's hit over the fence, you pick up $100.
I've had a couple of catches put down already today, Bill. Crowd haven't been grabbing them too well at all.
One was a very hot one. The second one should have been caught. They're certainly seeing some good stroke play under perfect conditions. Meet the players, get the odd autograph for 2. Yeah. And of course some big cricket coming to Sydney this year. Benson Hedges and Test Series. It's good running. It's the first big game in New South Wales is on December 14. Australia versus South Africa, a day-nighter on Tuesday, December the 14th. That'll be a ripper of a match. It's available on 02-266-4800. You must book to get into the Sydney Cricket Ground in the Benson Hedges World Series matches. Australia versus South Africa. And then the second test match, January 2 to 6, that's always a ripper. Australia versus South Africa on the great cricket ground, the Sydney Cricket Ground. Gives all players a chance, batting or bowling. Either fast or slow. Shane Warne be on display, I would think, in that match. Matthews takes a single. And then, of course, Australia versus New Zealand on Tuesday, January 11. Day-nighter. A lot of New Zealand fans living in Sydney, they'll be going on with that match in force. So book now, Benson Hedges World Series, January 11 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. A great summer of cricket coming to you on Wide World of Sports. Chee Quee, under she goes, and over, will they catch it? Yes, 100 big ones at mid-wicket. Well caught, sir. A ripper, the man in the blue shirt.
Didn't spill a drop either, I don't think.
Spill a drop.
Well, he's got the can, he's got the backpack on, he's carrying a handicap there. Carrying a heavy weight. And some celebratory high fives from his mates around him. Well, super piece of catching down there. That'll go into the crowd's classic catcher for the season, I would have thought. It's a pearl, a real pearl of a catch.
Caught it as Queen's the whistle. Swing and a miss. It was a good hit by Chee Quee. It was well struck. That's the over bowled 11 off at 4 for 242. Slow ball, he picks it up well. It's going like a tracer ball to the man at mid-wicket in the blue shirt. Up goes the hand. Well caught. A one-handed ripper into the big motel tonight. He's got the backpack on. Didn't spill a drop. A Dougie Walters type catch, quite relaxed at mid-wicket.
I thought you meant a Dougie Walters type beer in hand. I've seen him playing the big stuff with a beer in his hand.
44 overs bowled, 4 for 242. Chee Quee 56, Matthews 24 off 27. Colin Miller. There he is, he's been paid out. Cash on COD. Mercantile Mutual man there, quite happy to part with $100. Great promotion for the cricketers and fans here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 50,000 on display for the players if they hit one of those signs in the background. Matthews, not a six, just a single down to long on. New South Wales will go now with 6 wickets in hand. 6 overs to be bowled. Real buzz around the North Sydney Oval. The fans were happy coming in early this morning. They're coming in at 8:30 to get a good vantage point. There's still some room here for the Sydney fans to come down this afternoon. Tasmania will bat well on this pitch. Sydney will be leaving us at the end of this over, the Sydney viewers. It's in the air, going straight down his throat. Well caught, sir. He's gone. Courtney again, doing a great job in the outfield. Chee Quee departs, a fine knock, and Tasmania picking up a vital wicket.
And Nick Courtney has fielded very, very well today. It's his second catch. He's caught Mark Waugh diving forward inside the circle there. That's a fine catch to put an end to Richard Chee Quee's innings. And he did strike the ball. A bit of a slow start. Struck the ball well. That wasn't a bad strike either, but picked the man out. Pretty easy in the finish. An entertaining innings comes to a finish. New South Wales 5 for 243.
McNamara, the new batsman, at 9 strikers and his high score 65 against Tasmania last season. Handy cricketer. Matthews charges, gets a single down to long off. That was a handy wicket for Tasmania.
Yes, Richard Chee Quee was striking the ball rather well. If he had stayed in there and struck a few more boundaries every over, could have been a different game. Good bowling from Colin Miller, though. He saw Chee Quee coming down at him. Speared it into leg stump. And Courtney made it look easy out there. I can assure you that wasn't an easy catch. Had some good pace on it, around head high. You've got to concentrate on those ones.
McNamara on strike. Miller in trouble. Struggling with thumb. And McNamara off the mark with a single. That hurt.
McNamara must be in good nick. He times its first ball delightfully. See, Colin Miller sticks out the left hand, gets it on the thumb, and they do hurt. There'll be a bruise there in another 20 minutes or so. Couldn't save the one. Maybe there was some mental hurt as well. Another run off his own bowling. It was the left hand, though, not the bowling hand.
Matthews through mid-wicket. Just a reminder also to our viewers at 2 p.m. today, live from Suzuka in Japan, the Japanese Grand Prix. It's the last Grand Prix before the big weekend in Adelaide in a fortnight's time. So 2 p.m. today, live on Wide World of Sports, the Japanese Formula One Grand Prix.
It's a good vantage point up that Moreton Bay Fig. Some spare seats up there. There's probably a dozen or so people up in that tree. You see them there in the right-hand side of your picture. What a great spot to watch your cricket from, Bill.
Great for the kids. It's a great venue for a one-day match. Everybody's close to the players. Good scoring ground. Matthews gone, well caught by Buckingham, a vital wicket. Matthews falls, a wideish slash, and Tasmania doing well in the final overs.
Blake Matthews comes down the wicket once again. Let's have a look at it. One step down, Miller goes wide. Good catch by Dean Buckingham, that was going fairly quickly. So New South Wales lose another wicket, that of Greg Matthews, 6 for 247.
Goodbye now to our viewers in New South Wales. Please come down this afternoon. Goodbye for now. Wayne Holsworth, the new batsman, whacks it down to long on for a single. As Ian Chappell and Tony Gregg takes up the commentary.
Thank you, Bill. Yes, that's the end of a successful over. And another one down for New South Wales. Let's have another look at that dismissal. See if we can pick up a call down at the non-strikers end. It certainly seemed as if he reacted to a yes, or perhaps he just looked up and there was a little bit of indecision from the other end. Anyhow, there was no chance that he would get back. And the ball hitting the stumps there, so run out.
I got the impression that McNamara was trying to get away from the stumps as quickly as possible so the umpire wouldn't get a good look at the LBW decision, which is all well and good as long as the ball's not nestling in the wicketkeeper's gloves, which it was on that occasion. So I don't think there was any blame could be put on Phil Emery. I think it was McNamara trying to get away and not give Darryl Hare much of a look at the LBW. It was a bit high. He certainly didn't look where the ball had gone.
That's well played. Over the top and down into the gap as well. So Holsworth getting onto that one. He's not going to waste any time. It's just the thing that just surprised me a little bit about McNamara's dismissal was his reaction afterwards. He really did throw a bit of a wobble, if you like, on his way off.
Typical batsman's reaction, not over thrilled about getting out. At that point, just a couple of seconds after the finger's gone up, you're not really worried about who you're blaming. You're just cranky with your getting out.
Smashed that one away too, Holsworth. 3 out of 3. That one's going to the fence. Good shot. Well, he's got the old-fashioned tail-enders approach to the game. Right from the word go, there's a go.
Well, I think the Tour of England's done a lot of good for his batting. Maybe it's the promotion, being pushed ahead of Whitney and McGrath. Perhaps the sight of his name appearing at number 9 on the scoreboard has done wonders for Wayne's batting.
And again.
Quite right about the old-fashioned approach to tail-end batting, and I guess when you can bowl quick like Wayne Holsworth can, you can afford to throw the cue around at the ball and know that you're not going to get, certainly in a one-day game, you won't get much short stuff anyhow. But even in a Sheffield Shield match, if the opposition bowlers know that you can hand it out and pretty quickly, then they're less inclined to bang one in short to you.
And that flies away down towards the boundary at third man, and a 4. What a strike rate he's got.
He's just having a thrash at everything, Wayne Holsworth, and at the moment everything's going into the gap, which he'd be delighted about, hence the tremendous strike rate.
There it is. Boone making a couple of little adjustments out there.
He didn't find the gap on that occasion. David Boone, the man at mid-wicket.
The 12 runs from this over so far, just 1 ball to go. That's the run rate. He's having a look over towards deep mid-wicket, down towards the hill. He's hit it there. 1 bounce into the fence. Well, that's exactly where he looked. 16 runs off the over. And New South Wales advanced to 7 for 268.
get it by Mercy reaching over the fence and grabbing it on the first ball.
The 7 for 268. Wayne Holsworth now 17 off 7 balls. It's not a bad effort.
Three boundaries to Wayne Holsworth, and the last one provided an interesting example of how the crowd have really got involved in this Mercantile Mutual competition. Gentlemen there reaching over the fence, one hand, one bounce. That ought to be worth $50. It's certainly out in the backyard cricket. Ought to get him $50. That.
That one away down towards mid-wicket as well. I think that's his target. Cow shot corner. Yes, I get the feeling the bloke who caught it one hand, one bounce down there, had it been any closer, he would have been tumbling over the fence to make the catch, whatever happened. Holsworth undefeated on 18.
This is a tribute to the batting prowess of Wayne Holsworth. Phil Emery just pushing the singles, giving the strike to the slogging tail ender. And he's doing a very good job of it. 18 off 8 balls. I think you're quite right though, Greggy. He's got the one spot picked out, and it's mid-wicket way.
Let's get ready in front of the Duncan Thompson stand. Goodness, it's gone up in the air. Is it going to be 6 under the big tree? It is! Yep, and he's got it. Yes, what a good catch. Don't know he's dropped it. Well, he had a go. Yes, he caught it. Or did he pick it up off the ground?
It's a huge hit. It's extremely well timed. And so much for the theory of him just aiming for mid-wicket. And that's a good catch, because there was a guy running across in front of him throwing his arms up, and the man's having his name taken.
Got that one away for 4. Yes, I think he's dropped over to you, Richie. He went back quickly to pick that up as well, having caught the ball. So that's 2 that have been caught now. 2 sixes have been caught by the crowd. Let's have another look at that one to mid-wicket. Yes, that's Slater way down towards the ground boundary, and then she goes. Right, 1 ball to go in the over. Holsworth having a ball. Scored of every ball in that over. Holsworth coming back for the second here, and home he gets. 15 off the over. Good one for New South Wales. They're loving every second of it. 7 for 283. Now look at Holsworth, 30 off 11 balls. This will definitely be the fastest 50, and what's more, it'll take a bit of beating if he keeps going the way he is. So just 2 overs to go now. Sensible stuff again. Give it to Holsworth. This could bolster the team kitty. Well, there he is. That's Michael Whitney. I reckon he might be waiting down there for a catch as well. one. It's over the top of mid-wicket. Will it be caught again? Oh, no. It's hit the roof down there and bounced over the top. Well, he's got a good bat and he's a strong boy. He's smashed that one.
Well, Mark Waugh got his 50 off 40 balls earlier. And Wayne Holsworth, if he goes on to get 50, he's going to make a huge dent in that. The ball has now been tossed back onto the ground. David Boone just strolls over and picks it up. 36 off 12 balls. That was well hit. It was always going to be 6. And just caught the roof, edge of the roof.
It's a better delivery. Well pitched up. Can't get under those.
And you can see there in the last few overs how Wayne Holsworth has made a real difference to the run rate, especially coming on top of the 3 wickets that fell very quickly. Tremendous injection of runs there right near the end.
Nicely placed. They'll be looking for 2 here. Holsworth back for the second.
It was very well run by Wayne Holsworth. He knew that he was going to be coming back to the danger end if they were going to run 2. So he was very quick to run the first one, knowing that it would just be a stroll for Phil Emery if he was coming back for the second. Good running. You see how much ahead of Emery he was in completing the first.
Single off that one. Just 1 to go in the over now, and then we'll have 1 more over.
Some good run scoring for New South Wales in this competition. 278 against Queensland in their first Mercantile Mutual match. Now they're bordering on 300 here at North Sydney Oval.
And he hit another 6. Holsworth on strike. He's missed that one by miles. 2 to the keeper. So that's the end of the over. 1 to go. It's 7 for 294. So 7 for 294. Tucker to bowl the last over. Phil Emery has strike at the moment. And a big chance here. This will be out if he gets there. Yes. Oh, the umpire says not out. Oh, another one of those close ones.
Pretty casual fielding effort there from David Boone. Just sort of strolled in and underarmed it. Phil Emery grounding the bat, which is the ideal way to go. You'll always get the benefit of the doubt in that situation.
Oh, he smashed that one too. Way in the air she goes. And, oh, it's gone. He's hitting him too far for the crowd here. This ground has come alive right underneath that one.
Well, there's an opportunity for an enterprising young lad out there. If there's a smart kid out there, he picks up the ball in the street, comes dashing back in and tells the Mercantile Mutual man, hey, look what I caught, and gets himself $100 because no one's going to be able to prove that he didn't catch it. It's gone right out of the ground. So we'll see if there's any quick thinking young lads in the North Sydney area. 43 to Wayne Holsworth. He's got 4 balls to get the 50, and if he does get to 50, it's going to be the fastest 50 of the competition.
Well, that young man may well appear. The ball hasn't been found yet, and everyone's waiting for it to come back. It's gone way over the top there, down into the park behind the ground here. It looks as if it's buried in that huge great hole that someone has dug there. There's some work going on behind the stand. Well, they've got it. There it is.
I think it's got tram tickets all over it as well. It's been that far.
Oh, that's a better delivery. Well pitched up. The Yorker, there's nothing he can do about that one. Close to the stumps too. Tucker the bowler there.
That last 6 brought up the 300 for New South Wales. So Wayne Holsworth now has 3 balls in which to make 7 runs.
It's a slower one. He's got it away. Will he come back for the second? Probably try. He will. Yes, and just home. The umpire's had a long, hard look at it. So 2 to Holsworth.
Taken them just 22 balls to go from 250 to 300.
He's got to come back for the 2 here. Yes, he'll try. And it's a wide throw, and he comes back for 2. So he's got to get 3 runs now for his 50. And he's got 1 ball to do it in, and the player who scores the fastest 50 in the 93-94 season in the Mercantile Mutual Cup will receive $5,000. So 1 ball to go, 3 runs to get, and Holsworth is on strike. I think he's going to get 3 from that. That was a good delivery. They should have bowled a lot more right up there. He's come back for the second. No overthrows. And Holsworth has got home. He's the hero. What's all happening for him out there? He's come out of his shoe as well.
Well, he's unlucky, Wayne Holsworth. He's finished on 49. And Phil Emery was very much aware of the prize, and he was trying to get him as much strike as possible to get that 50, a 50 that would have been, well, you would think unbeatable. But unfortunately, he's finished 1 short.
Well, the crowd standing and applauding him off the ground. They really did enjoy that. 307 they scored in their 50 overs. Holsworth there getting a big cheer off the ground. Tremendous atmosphere here. And it's now going to be up to David Boone and the Tasmanians to see if they can get close to that. So this outfield fast, the pitch is good, and all it needs is some outstanding batting. And what's more, there's a magnificent crowd here who'll be looking forward to seeing them do it too. We'll be back in just a moment with Richie Benno.